7 things that you could see or will see when you visit the Knoxville, East Tennessee area. Maybe you live here, maybe you're thinking about moving here, but these might be things that you thought, why is that way? For example, fireworks. Why do you see all these fireworks tents popping up right before the 4th of July across the Knox County line? Let's dive in and let's take a look at all these different things in East Tennessee. I would love to hear your comments and your side notes. Obviously, this is not an exhaustive list, but these are things that I get a ton of comments on or questions about. So let's jump in. So another thing to know about Tennessee, we are outside of Knoxville. I'm north of Knoxville towards Tazewell, but you can see that the roads can be winding and narrow. This road is actually not that narrow. Like, there's plenty of space. Like, if another car was coming, sometimes you're like, oh gosh, it's tight. But something to know is we definitely can have some winding roads. So a lot of people, a lot of times are like, I would love a house like kind of more rural, but as a result of that, you're gonna also have more rural roads. You might not have internet service, you might have spotty cell service. Now that's obviously specific to the location, but also given the fact that how these roads are, keep in mind that these homes kind of in the more rural areas are likely not going to have public water or public sewer. They're certainly not going to have public sewer, aka you're going to have a septic tank. Likely, like where I'm driving through now, all of these are on well, which is basically it's a well. You have to dig into the ground to source your water. Some people are completely anti that. Some people, like, they grew up that way, they're used to it. So anyway, it's just something to make note of when you're thinking about, like, are you really okay with being essentially out in the middle of nowhere, or do you need a little more people? Because, like, there's people out here, but there's no grocery stores, there's like spotty internet, stuff like that. And then also the roads, I mean, obviously you'd have to be comfortable with this. Also, we have mountains here, which means it's not flat. So if you're looking for acreages that are flat acreages, if you're looking for acreage that's flat, Tennessee, East Tennessee, I should say, may not be for you. Now, Memphis is more flat. Nashville sits on a plateau, so, you know, whatever. But this is going to be, I mean, it's beautiful, but also, like, it's not like when you fly into Texas, right? When you fly into Texas, it's like you can see everything. You can see all the neighborhoods. When you fly in here, you see mountains, and it's beautiful. And you see rivers, but it's not flat. Things you see in Tennessee. Propane tanks. This is bottled gas. It's either leased or you own the tank and you have it filled, but this is how people heat their homes. And now, like, this one's no longer needed, but it was going to cost more money for them to have the people that actually own the tank, the company, than them just leave it. So they left it. So something else about East Tennessee, which I never thought about, even though, like, I've traveled all over the place, is it's consistently green here. Now, I get this comment from pretty much anybody moving from out west here. They're always like, it's so green here. And I even get this in the winter because, I mean, we have like pine trees or whatever, but literally something I never thought about. But like, we're in June right now, the end of June. So obviously, like, everything is sprouting, but even in the winter, like, we still have green grass. It's still green. We still have the mountains. So if you like an outdoor vibe, we have that all year round. Fireworks. The state of Tennessee has specific laws about fireworks, and some of these are like specific based on like area, and then other counties have their own laws. Now, specifically Knox County, it is illegal to sell, use, etc. fireworks. So you see just past the county line, fireworks stores pop up, especially during like 4th of July time. So like mid-June, right to 4th of July, you see all these firework tents pop up. So I'm going to show you what happens when we cross from Knox County into Blount County / Sevier. So I'm going into Seymour, which is Knox, Blount, Sevier. But what I'm going to show you is literally right past the Knox County line, fireworks store, fireworks store, fireworks store. I think there's like 5 in the span of like 2 miles, maybe 1 mile. It's very short. But Knox County specifically is too large of a county to have fireworks. So the state of Tennessee says if you have over 355,000 people, you may not use or distribute fireworks. Of course, if you have a permit, that's different. But like, you can't do it. So as of the 2022 census, there's 495,000 people in Knox County, therefore it's prohibited. So let's see what happens when you drive near 4th of July across county lines. Now, Loudoun County, if you go to Watt Road, down I-40, that's like South Knox, you see a giant fireworks store. It is literally just across the county line, and that's a brick and mortar, it's always open store. But like on this side of town, South Knox into Sevierville, into Blount County, like heading towards Sevierville, we see these fireworks tents popping up once a year. It happens all the time. And I was like, what is going on? And then I realized it's because you can't have fireworks in Knox County. So let's see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we are at the very edge of Knox County. If you look over on this side of the road, you're gonna see the back of the Knox County sign. I'm telling you that because there's not a sign on this side of the road. So I'm on Chapman Highway. I'm leaving Knoxville. I'm headed south, essentially towards Sevierville. Okay, so over here in the trees, like right over here, there is a sign, and that's the Knox County line sign. If you look hard enough, you zoom in, you can see it. Now, what do you see? To the left, you see, boom, fireworks store. So that's the first fireworks store just across the county line. So I think that over the course of the next literally 3 minutes, we're gonna see 5 more. I know for a fact 4 more. I think there's like a new one this year. There's actually 2 new ones that have popped up. Okay, so again, we see that sign that says Blount County, but it's actually a little bit further. And then we're about to see also Sevier County. So Sevier and Blount, both, they are allowed. Alcoa, Maryville. So there's fireworks store number 2 right there. Hello. And then that's a new one that we just passed. There's a Sevier County sign right there. And then you can see white tent right here to the left. And then if you look to the right, you start to see a red and white. So that's number 3, fireworks store number 4. Which I actually know the guy that runs that one. I used to work with him actually back in the day. You know who you are if you're seeing this video. I don't know if you want to be called out or not, but anyways. Okay, so that's 4 literally in the course of 1 minute, because I'm watching the time. We started at 1:09, now it's 1:10. Now we're gonna see, I know for a fact 1 more, if not 2 more in this. Well, I think there's 2 more up here. So anyways, all that being said, definitely something you see certainly as it gets close to 4th of July. And I'm pretty sure there's like rules about how when they could start selling, because I feel like they started later this year. So if you look to the right, there's number, what would that be? 5, I think. See there, right there. And that's in the Craven Wings. Well, it's adjacent to Craven Wings parking lot. So if you like wings and you want a good hamburger, you can get one. And then I know there's 1 more up here in the Kroger parking lot, I believe. Let's go see. So yeah, that is something you will see in East Tennessee. And then obviously counties that are larger than 355,000, I'm sure they have the same situation as Knox County, specifically like outside of Shelby, which is Memphis, and then outside of Nashville as well. So anyways, if you need y'all fireworks, so this is number 6 that we're turning into. Oh, there's 7 too, see? Okay, look, just in this parking lot alone, we've got this one, and then we've got 1 over here. See that one, the red and white one? And then we had 1 more back over by Craven Wings. So I think that was like 6 or 7. Fireworks game is strong. I'm turning around so you can see what I'm talking about. One time my mom got pulled over for doing what I just did. Like, they're like, are you trying to drive around in the parking lots causing wrecks? I was so scared, because I was like scared of the police. I'm still afraid of like being in trouble. I'm like a rule follower to a T. Anyways, I'm always like, oh gosh. Ooh. So even just in this parking lot, see this white tent? Oh, up here too as well. God, it's like freaking like a war zone over here or not a war zone, but it's so much going on. So it's crowded here today, and it's just like a Wednesday afternoon. So then, yeah, there's another one in that white tent. So anyways, literally we went probably 2 miles and we saw like 8 fireworks stores. So anyways, get your fireworks, but you got to get them out of Knox County. So something else that you see in East Tennessee is outside of the city, like outside of Knoxville City, outside of Maryville City, outside of Oak Ridge City, you will need to pay for trash service, which means you also may see or will see these convenience centers. So these are out around the county. There are trash services. We actually don't use a trash service. We ourselves haul it, but we have a truck, right? So you can totally find a service, but if you want to haul your trash, you can, and you'll see these convenience centers. So something to keep in mind is if you're thinking about moving outside of the city limits, you're going to need to figure out trash service, and that might mean hauling it. So if you're a Blount County resident, you can't dump your trash in the Knox County Convenience Center. You got to go to the Blount County one. Or if you're like a Sevier County resident, you got to use the Sevier County one. So wherever you are a resident is where you dump your trash. So just know that. Otherwise, you'll get a fine. Something else that you should know about East Tennessee, Knoxville area is we have red clay, mud, and dirt. And you'll see like red runoff, and people are like, what is that? It's just because our dirt is like, not all dirt, but some of it's like red. So I'm trying to show you here in this runoff, you can see like the reddish tint. So this is, yesterday it rained, so you can just see though, like obviously it's brown, but it's got like a red, it's like red clay mud is what we call it. It's not really showing very well, but you can definitely see it in the water, how the water is more red tint. So yeah. Which of these was most interesting to you? For me, the firework thing I think is super interesting. I've always thought about this since as a kid, and I can hear my mom saying, you can't buy fireworks in Knox County. No, she doesn't actually sound like that, but you get the idea. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next video.